We should be live, and unfortunately, Craig was not caught in the recording. No robot voice. There was one, but you won't hear it.
Craig is always listening.
Always. And it's not creepy at all. Not creepy at all. Hello, and welcome to Critical Recovery. This is a 5th edition homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign. My name is Crash. I will be your DM for the evening. And tonight I am joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Ellie, Eo, Jen, Cindy, Archbeth is hanging out in chat. And a question was asked shortly before I pressed the record button. What did we do last time?
We climbed a mountain and fought some people who were operating some catapults that were shooting into nowhere.
I got a hippo thrown at me.
A worst hippo. And they weren't firing the catapults into nowhere. They were firing them specifically away from where they were and off the side of the mountain.
I think if you asked the
I mean, that's still a very generic direction. Away from here.
Away from here is a good direction when you're talking about an extra-dimensional hippo with no face, just more mouth.
I think if you ask the kobolds in the Monday game, they would argue that these extra-dimensional hippos are preferable to the hippos they encountered at the beginning of the campaign.
I mean, the hippos they encountered at the beginning of the campaign won't eat them, so there may be some debate on the subject.
But the kobolds have dealt with many, many things that want to eat them, but not many, many things that want to order them around.
Well, the GIF are mercenaries, so at this point, the kobolds might order the GIF around, depending if they're hired.
True.
With that said, there was also a portal into the ethereal plane, behind which something that... Now, none of the kobolds knows who H.P. Lovecraft is, so they don't understand H.P. Lovecraft references. However, there's something on the other side of that portal that would make them immediately want to invent that genre and then burn it to the ground.
Are you implying that the characters in this campaign do know who H.P. Lovecraft is?
No, quite the opposite. And we ended the last session with this being who had apparently been ordering the Kraken Priest around and had been tossing things through the portal in an attempt to break down the barriers between this plane of reality and the ethereal plane to pull all of Circulus into it. That was the overarching goal. Well, they were attempting to mock you and belittle you and point out how their victory would be inevitable, and none of you seems to have cared.
Literally every person we've killed has said their victory is inevitable. So, join the queue, mysterious squid person.
And every being that has said it would defeat me has died.
And every being present has died at least once.
I have not.
So, see...
we'll
give you some practice, I guess.
Because here's the thing. You haven't died. We've all died and come back. So there's one thing that we have that you don't, which is that you fear death.
I do not understand how that is your conclusion. I am far too powerful for any being I have encountered to slay me. I have devoured gods.
Yeah, but what if someone does slay you? What then? Have you thought about what happens?
What does a god taste like? Does it taste like chicken?
It has a strong umami flavor.
Well, that actually tastes good.
Gorga did absolutely ask that, and it was entirely a ploy to throw this thing off balance.
And that umami is apparently one of the few words in common that this being knows.
That one.
It doesn't know feet. It doesn't know bugs, but it knows umami.
Seriously, though, have you thought about what happens if you run into something that can kill you? What happens to you?
This is not something I have pondered. There is no need. Well, I have transcended.
Are you sure?
If I say positive, will you drop the subject?
I'm just saying it's a philosophical thought that you should think about. It's really important to think about what happens after death.
One should always be willing to contemplate their place in the universe.
I have discovered my place
you
in this universe, and it is to devour world. Yours is next on the buffet.
Okay, but why is that?
Everyone needs a hobby.
No. I get devouring worlds. That's like that's the part of this that I understand. Well, sure, everybody's got to eat, but
that almost makes sense. Horrible
but
sense,
why our
but
world?
sense.
This
why
was
have
the
you
next
chosen
world
our
the
world?
Kevins led me to.
Oh,
it comes back to the Kevins.
Oh, so you worship the Kevins. Okay, we can probably round a few of them
I
up.
Yeah, we can deal with that.
Yes, okay. You are the worshiper of the Kevins. That's amazing.
yeah.
You
so
are
the Kevins
clearly
are your god.
not as capable as the ones who destroyed my Kraken.
Well,
This conversation
now that's just hurtful.
is over.
Oh, good.
Oh, God.
Meet your doom. I have other portals I need to attend to. And with that, the tentacle monstrosity on the other side of the portal shifts. No, wait. No, it doesn't shift. It's the portal that's shifting. It shouldn't bend that way. There are 3 dimensions that you are aware of, and it's not bending on any of those 3 axis points. But it's definitely, it's shifting.
Do you all think my sword will survive if I try to stab that?
I do
No.
not know.
It's magic. I have no clue. It's magic.
Did it just grow wings? I think it just grew wings.
What, the portal?
Yeah, they don't do that every day.
No, that's new.
No, and those are definitely claws. Those are clearly claw shaped.
Oh, no. It's a dragon.
That's a tail. Well, imagine a dragon made of nope. And I don't mean the nope, I don't want to deal with that. It's just most of what you've encountered throughout your lives, plural, because this is not life number 1 for any of you, has been made out of stuff. Now, what that stuff was can vary and should vary.
So it's an anti.
Does anyone have a spell that's just like an explosion?
Not yet.
What you are encountering now is a dragon made of not stuff.
Of not stuff.
Yes.
Interesting.
If you
Hello,
gaze
Gorga
too long in
sighs and
it,
draws her sword. Okay, looks like we're ready for fight.
if you gaze too
Hello?
long into it, something gazes back at you and not from the right place. But yes,
Hello,
roll for
you're
initiative.
We're doing what?
Roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
It's
I
good to
got
get
a
that out of the way.
14.
And LFA has joined us just in time
14
to
for
hear
me,
a
too.
dragon made of nope.
I also got a 14.
14.
3
You get a
14s in a
14,
row.
and you get a 14. Everyone check under your seat.
and Jen's got a 21.
Yes, Morley
Go
gets
Morley.
to go first.
Oh, my.
The,
Okay.
the adorable innocent cinnamon roll gets to strike with first blood.
Okay, so...
Give me a second here. I'm still putting in... I don't know why I kept checking. I should have just put in 14 for almost all of you. But I was like, okay, so what was Zuda's again? No, Zuda's was 14. Okay, but what was Ryan's again? It was 14. Okay, but what was... Oh, I forgot what Gorga's was. Let me check. Oh, 14. Vex is going before you.
Oh. Wow.
Well, not going before Morley. Morley got a 21. Morley, there is a dragon made of anti-stuff, which is the best terminology that I can come up with right now for it. It looks mean.
Stuff. It looks what?
It looks mean.
It's mean. Okay. See what I can... Let's see if Chill Touch does anything to this thing. Some of it has particles, right? Maybe.
I mean, you're mostly able to tell where it is by looking at where reality is and then looking for the edge of where reality stops being.
Okay, I'm going to aim there.
What's the particle in this? You know what? I don't want to know. I do not want to breathe that in.
Well, put your mask on. That's what I'm going to do.
We can check to see if it blends.
Good plan.
15 is not going to hit.
Okay, that one's... That's all I have for now.
All right. Next up is her not appearing in this film because they've already vacated the premises. Next up is Vex. Vex decides discretion is the better part of valor and continues to try to hide behind Morley.
Okay.
Next up is the one Dragonborn that led you up here. They are still looking over the side of the edge of the giant cliff face, singing a happy little tune to themselves about how everything is so quiet. Gorga and Rhine and Zuda.
I will go last.
Well, assuming that not exactly a dragon thing isn't within stabbing range of a rapier, Gorga's only choice is to take a somewhat defensive stance and just be ready for when it comes close.
I am ready for round 2.
Actually, Crash,
Yes.
I don't know if this is a valid thing to do, but I'm going to voluntarily go on a 13.
I mean, you can hold your action.
No, I'm just saying since three of us have gotten 14 as our initiative.
Okay. So here's the
I am
thing.
choosing to go last in each round. So functionally I'm going on a 13.
Okay. So two things. First of all, I can't change the initiative order in the combat tracker without rerolling everything. But two, in the event of ties, it sorts by alphabetical order. And you named your character Zuda.
All right. That's fair.
So you have functionally achieved this anyway.
Okay, then.
So
All right, Nope Dragon, let's go.
it's hovering just out of melee range because it was dropping things from when it was a portal on the catapults. So if you want to do a ranged attack, you can. Otherwise, you're standing at the
Don't I
ready.
have a spiritual weapon up?
Oh, you know
maybe.
what? Yeah, you had a spiritual weapon up. It's been that close.
So I'm going to attack first with my spiritual weapon.
An 8 is not going to do it,
Yeah, an 8 is not going to do it.
which I'm not trying to rub it in, but I'm saying it for the recording.
I am going to cast Firebolt at it for my regular action.
A 12
the dice
is
hate me
also
today.
not going to do it. Hey,
All
that
right,
roll
I
was
still
higher.
have movement. I'm moving closer to it.
Okay. I would argue that climbing up a catapult is difficult terrain, but if you wish to do that, you can get within striking distance of it.
I want to do that.
Okay. We now have an Asimar on top of a catapult. Nothing bad is going to
Oh,
happen
no.
from this.
Oh no.
I swear everyone in this party but me is suicidal.
I mean, they already tried
Shut
it
up
once.
and let me do my job.
I'm not complaining. If you want to die just to give me a few extra hours, then by all means. But yeah,
Okay. Are you attacking?
Is that your turn?
Well,
Eo?
Ryan
that's-
ran up the catapult, so
Oh, okay. Making sure.
I'm assuming at this point that you're trying a different die roller because you don't like sidekicks results.
Gorga already took her turn. She's not going to try a non-magic weapon against half dragon, half portal.
I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
That's a 17 plus 6 for a 23.
23 hits. Or should I say, it doesn't hit anything.
Well, then, I don't do 12 points of radiant damage. And
It doesn't like that.
the next attack roll made against the target before the end of my next turn doesn't have advantage.
So you see all this stuff? Don't hit any of it. Okay. Got it. Okay. So
And yes, Zuda really does say, "Hello, your doom."
valid.
He did announce himself as so.
That's how it was introduced to us.
Yes, it must be a name
fair.
or a title of some sort.
That's
yes.
fair. Okay, and the next thing that happens off camera. And
Chris
the next thing
snores.
that happens, what's that?
Chris snores.
Possibly. The next thing that happens is the Not Dragon decides to use its Not Breath attack.
We're going to take nope damage.
It has more than one breath attack. It gets to pick.
Ooh.
Gorga objects. She has no power to make that meaningful, but she objects.
Gorga is not Ace Ventura, that's someone else. The attorney guy.
Oh, yeah.
Phoenix Wright.
Thank you. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
That's where the ace came in. I have never played the games. I just remember the memes.
There it is.
All right. So
I will say the first 3 games were really well written, even after localization, but yeah, I'll leave it there.
my main experience is someone took sections from the game and reworked them to be the boot to the head skit. And it was
That was
glorious.
also funny.
That was also funny. Yes.
Yes,
you know
the
what's
games
not
are
funny?
great and very memeable.
You know what's not funny? Gravitic breath. The dragon exhales a 30-foot cube of powerful localized gravity. This is going to hit all of you. It originates from the dragon. Falling damage in the area falling damage in the area increases. None of you are falling currently, although one of you is on top of a catapult, so that might change. When a creature starts its turn within the area or enters it for the first time in a turn, including when the dragon creates the field, it must make a DC 17 dexterity saving throw. So that's what you're rolling. Dexterity saving throw, target number is 17.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw.
On a
I'm
failure, the
actually
creature is
proficient in
restrained.
dexterity saving, but I still failed at a 15.
What
On a
happens on a failure?
You are restrained. On a success, the creature's speed is halved as long as it remains in the field. A restrained creature repeats the saving throw at the end of its turn. The field persists until the dragon's breath recharges, and it can't use gravitic breath twice consecutively.
So basically, if we're not in the air, we were all face planted.
Is that right?
I rolled a 19 minus 1 for an 18.
I got an 18 as well.
Okay.
I technically
Wait, are we
got
supposed to be rolling at disadvantage, or am I just confused?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you.
I am going to use Favored by the Gods and roll 2d4 and add it to that.
You know what? I'm spending my inspiration. I've had this for several games already.
So that is.
And I rolled
For
worse.
23.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to clarify the disadvantage thing, Jen, you didn't have to roll the save at disadvantage, but if you failed the save, attack rolls against you will have advantage because you're restrained.
Okay.
You'll be rolling attack rolls at disadvantage because if you're being held down, it's hard to aim.
Okay, what was the number we had to hit?
You had to hit 17.
I hit 18.
Okay. So yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Oddly enough, Morley is fine.
Yes. Now, your movement speed is halved
Okay.
because it feels like you just gained 100% of your weight. Also 100% of Vex's weight because he's holding onto your back. Oh, and anyone who failed also has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws from now on. So it's a dex save again if you failed your save at the end of your turn to see if you can resist this, but you have to roll that dex save at disadvantage. Good times. Good times. But that is this Void Dragon's turn. And it is now Morley's turn.
Okay.
Someone kill it.
Oh, by the way,
See what I can do.
Ryan, did you make your save with the extra stuff you were doing?
Yeah, with the extra stuff I was doing, I got a 23.
Okay, the catapult you're standing on creaks under the weight of Asimar plus armory, plus very heavy backpack of gold.
That's fine.
It ratchets down a click.
I mean, to be fair, the catapult was also being used to launch extra-dimensional hippo monsters, so it can deal with a little bit of weight.
How close is Ryan to the dragon cloud?
Ryan is now within melee range.
Within melee range. Okay. Let's see.
If Ryan wants to attempt to give it chin scritchings, Ryan can attempt to give it chin scritchings.
Oh, okay.
I do not recommend chin scritching the Void Dragon.
Yeah, probably.
I had no inflict wounds. My chin scritchies are deadly.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I don't know if this is a great idea, but
That's D&D in a nutshell.
yeah, exactly. That could be the preface of the whole game. Okay, so I'm going to cast Witch Bolt as a 3rd level spell.
Okay, what does that do?
It's okay. The description is a beam of crackling blue energy lances out toward a creature within range, which is 30 feet of range, forming a sustained arc of lightning between you and the target. Make a ranged spell attack against the creature. On a hit, the target faces 1d12 lightning damage, and on each of your turns for the duration, you could use your own action to deal 1d12 lightning damage to the target automatically. The spell ends if you use your action to do anything else. The spell also ends if the target is ever outside the spell's range or if it has total cover from you. And when you do it at 2nd level or higher, the initial damage increased by 1d12 for each slot above the first. So that's what it does. And I figure if this thing is big enough, I can sort of aim it so that Ryan won't get hit, I'm hoping.
You are
Is this
now
on
Tesla.
Yes. Okay, so here's the 2 hits. It's 17 plus 6 for a 23.
That will hit.
Yay! Okay, so I'm doing 3d6 of damage. One is spinning around on my desktop. Yes.
If you want, you have advantage on the roll, so you can see if you got a crit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this is the damage I got without doing that. It's a total of 31, but I will roll again to see if I got a crit, if that's relevant still. So let me just do that. No, that one's a 5 plus 6 for 11. That's what the second
Okay.
one was.
Well, the first one was a hit. I have put in the 31 points of lightning damage.
Okay. And I think, let me reread that. I've never used this spell before.
I've never seen it used before.
You've never seen it used before?
No.
Oh, well, there we are. Okay, so I did that, and then, let's see. Okay, so that's my turn, but then it says on each of your turns for the duration, you can use your action to deal the lightning again. What is the duration of the fight? Of my turn?
Of the spell.
Of the spell.
Of the spell. Okay, so it's a concentration spell up to 1 minute.
Yeah, we've never had a fight that lasted a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
most
next
fights
10
last
turns.
like 20 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's what I've done, and that's all I can...
You've had fights against literal dragons, like ancient dragons, that lasted 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Each round is technically 6 seconds, so yeah.
Exactly. All right, so next up is going to be Vex, who gives a half-hearted chirp of encouragement, but also is realizing that he is very close to a lot of lightning.
Aw.
And you did well over triple, I think, his health. So Vex is considering hiding behind a different player character.
Oh, Morley has scared him. Oh, no.
Gorga. Well, technically Gorga and Ryan simultaneously.
Gorga's face down in the dirt right now. She failed her save even with my inspiration.
Okay. So that means you get to make a roll to see if you can avoid being restrained at the end of your turn. But also, is there anything you want to do? Because restrained does not mean you can't attack.
Well, I'm assuming I'm not in melee range, so
Remember, you can take the help action at a range of 30 feet.
that's right. So yeah, I'm gonna pull out my short bow and try to make an attack with that, even though I doubt it's gonna work because, oh geez, I just not won my short bow attack.
Oh, no.
So yeah, the short bow misses. I'm not even gonna require Crash to answer that. That one will miss. So Gorga is having the worst day, but I will do what I can to give Ryan advantage because that's a class feature I can do as a bonus action.
To be
At
fair,
least your hands
you're not
didn't fall off.
and to be fair, you're not used to firing arrows in double gravity. So
Oh, that's
you were
true.
really expecting
Yeah.
that arrow to go anywhere other than straight down.
For the most part, I just imagine Gorga's shouting stuff that cannot be repeated on stream.
That sounds incredibly valid for a lot of my campaigns. Also, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage to see if you can deal with the gravity of the situation.
Oh, jeez. One of my rolls was a nat 20, but with disadvantage, the total is a 9 because the other die was a 2.
Oh, no.
Well, better luck next round. Ryan,
Well,
I believe you have been helped, so you get to make your attack roll at advantage.
Okay.
better make this count. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, go ahead. You having advantage is more important than what I was going to say.
Okay. I am going to attempt to cast Inflict Wounds. I
Since
think I
Richard's
will
a
maybe
demon.
not use Sidekick. 14.
14
You have
will
advantage.
not do it.
Don't you have
Oh,
advantage,
damn
so
it!
shouldn't you be
Yeah,
rolling
I-
twice?
I count on that bot. That was the issue.
Well, copy
Ah.
paste. And 11 is worse. Okay, so you attempt to inflict wounds,
Spell.
but for some reason you are not able to hit the being made of nothing.
I'm going to quicken spell another inflict wound.
I think the dice have just decided we're supposed to die today. I mean, my one nat 20 was when I was rolling it with
Did the
disadvantage.
guiding bolt hit? Should there still be a... No, wait, Morley did that
Lightning.
one. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
And if Morley hadn't gone, then it still would not have been double advantage. It would have been Gorgo rolling an advantage.
Oh, right, yes.
Ouch.
Okay. Well, a 9 is not going to do it either. So that's 3 swings and 3 misses. Next up, going at 13 and a half.
And I am definitely restrained.
Oh.
Is this thing's secret power to affect probability in the real world?
Possibly.
Well,
And it occurs to me that I forgot to tell Morley to roll a dexterity saving throw because Morley is still in the gravity well.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
I didn't realize. Sorry.
as is my policy, I don't go back multiple turns to fix something if it's forgotten. If it's
Has
forgotten,
been
it's just
multiple
forgotten.
turns.
I just have to remember it next time.
We made the save, though.
I did.
Yes, but you have to make that save every time you have your turn in that gravity.
Oh,
Okay. I didn't understand.
that's wow.
When a creature
Does it
starts its
start or
turn
ends
within
the
the
turn?
area or enters it for the first time, including when it's first used. So, Zuda,
Wow, that's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Zuda, it is the start of your turn. Would you like to make a dexterity saving throw?
No, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I value your honesty.
Well, that's a natural 20, -1 for a 19.
I'll take the nat 20. So, what would you like to do now?
Well, I would like not to affect the laws of probability in the real world, but to affect them in game.
I mean, I'm sure if you could affect them in the real world, you'd do that too.
Yes.
I mean, why not?
Can I get to within 30 feet of everybody else in the party?
You are already enjoying that situation, which is why the breath weapon hit all of you.
Okay. I cast Bless.
You get
Everybody
an extra
except me
D4.
gets to add a D4 every time you add an attack roll or a saving throw.
So if you're rolling a D20, other than for death saves or skill checks, you add a D4 to that roll as well. So you're going to roll higher.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody help me remember that, because numbers are not going to work well for me much longer.
Certainly. So Zuda is not blessing your heart. Zuda is blessing all of you.
Aw.
Yes.
Because bless your heart is something else.
Zuda is asking the knight to watch over you.
And now I'm thinking
And that's
of
my
a
turn.
song from Anastasia, but never mind. Okay. Next up is the Void Dragon. Well, let's see if it recharges its breath weapon. No, it does not.
Oh.
So
Okay.
instead, it is going to do its multi-attack. Now, Ryan decided to come over and say hello, so it's going to go for Ryan first because Ryan is right there.
Good.
Ryan rushed in.
Uh-huh.
So the first attack... Oh, hey, yeah, there's a die roller built into D&D Beyond. What if I use that?
That's what I've been using.
Now, that's over 20, but I still need to do the math because this is Ryan we're talking about. It's a 25.
You know what? I cast shield.
Okay.
My AC is
Smart.
currently 22 because I cast shield when we were. So the +5 from shield means that stacks to 27.
An AC of yes.
And while you were talking, I rolled for its claw attacks. Neither claw attack does a thing.
Oh.
Okay. Morley, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I got a 14.
Add a d4.
Oh, add a d4. Okay. 16.
Okay. You are restrained. The weight of the world is crushing down on you.
That is not so good.
No.
All right.
You're still in the fight, but your
Still in the
attack rolls
fight.
will be at disadvantage.
Okay. So does this mean I've lost the ability to redo the witch bolt?
Nope,
This
you can still do
concentration.
this.
I can still do this? Okay.
You take no damage because you didn't fall.
Right. Okay.
You just
And
can't move.
Witch bolt goes automatically. You don't need to re-roll the attack roll.
Yeah. You don't have to reroll the attack roll.
Oh, okay.
You can just
Cool.
do it.
You can just do it
That's
for
your-
just
you
put the
can-
damage? Yeah. Okay.
Right.
And it doesn't take any additional spell slots. It's just this is how it goes?
Nope.
Is that right?
Yeah,
That-
because you're
that's your
concentrating.
action for the turn. But
Okay.
yeah, you just do the damage.
Okay, here's the damage. Am I rolling damage with disadvantage or no?
No.
Nope.
Okay. 26 total.
Ouch.
You only ever roll a d20 with disadvantage.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so that's my turn then. I'm grappled, but I'm still hitting this
Well,
thing.
not grappled.
No?
Well, you could argue that
Restrained.
you are
Restrained.
restrained,
Okay.
which means your movement is 0. You can't really move from your spot. That would be too much effort.
Oh,
If you were making attack rolls, they'd be at disadvantage, and if this Void Dragon wanted to attack you, it'd be at advantage.
okay. I think I
Basically, our
understand.
bodies are too heavy for us, so we're stuck to the ground.
Okay.
Yes.
This makes sense now. And that's my turn.
Okay. Vex has decided to not try to fly when Vex weighs twice as much.
Oh,
So Vex
poor
is
thing.
continuing to hold on to your back.
Okay.
Gorga, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Actually, Gorgon and
Disadvantage?
Ryan, may I go first this time?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you all
Go ahead.
technically are at 14, so you're all technically going at the same time.
Okay.
I have no objections.
That's another natural 20. on the dexterity save.
Now you're just showing off.
I don't mean to be.
Right. It's not something you did intentionally.
I mean, I teach at a creative and performing arts academy. I do not say show off like it's a bad thing. I literally teach my students to show off. It's part of the curriculum.
Good.
And here is why I wanted to go first.
Guiding bolt.
I present my holy symbol, and a sphere of twilight emanates from me. And that's my turn.
Okay. Everything got a bit dimmer. Someone rolled up the window and they had tinted windows.
Does this mean the dragon cannot see it?
No.
Or do we
No,
not
it can
know?
see you.
It can see?
It has blind sight and dark vision. It's gonna see you.
Okay.
So Gorga, make a dexterity saving throw.
I assume with disadvantage since I failed my last one.
Yes. It's like trying to get up in the morning for the first time.
Okay, that's a 15 before I get my D4. So,
So you're saying there's a chance.
total of 17.
You make it.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Your movement is
And-
no longer 0. If you want to rush in and go stabby on top of the catapult, you can. If you want to be more like Gorga and not do that, you can.
I'm going to try again with my short bow. Is that still a disadvantage or is that just a regular roll now?
It's only disadvantage if you are restrained.
Alright, so I assume I still get my bless for this because that's a 13 before the D4. And why do I keep rolling a 2 on the D4 but a total of 15?
Okay. It does not hit.
Alright, then once again I miss, but I will attempt to give Ryan advantage because that's a class feature I have.
All right. Ryan, give me a dexterity saving throw.
And Gorga gets 10 temporary hit points.
Okay, I'm putting that on my character sheet now. Thank you.
That's a 15. Actually, Ryan did not fail their saving throw last time.
Last turn I did.
Last turn you did. Okay.
The initial one I made, the next one I got a 0.
Okay. So, with that said, you can make an attack, but it's going to cancel out the disadvantage because advantage from Gorga. So, you can make a straight attack roll for one of your attacks.
All right. I take a swing with my spiritual weapon as a bonus action. 18.
Okay. The spiritual weapon comes flying right at the Void Dragon. You are certain it's going to connect, and at the last moment, the dragon uses a reaction. It does not cast shield.
Without meaning to interrupt, any attack roll you make gets that D4 too.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Does it being a 21 instead of an 18 matter?
Yes, it does. A 21 is too high for it to do the thing that it wants to do. So, it hits. Roll your damage.
That is 5. Is that force damage? I think that's force damage. Yes, that's force damage.
Okay.
And that was a bonus action. For my action, how about you make a dexterity saving throw?
No.
Suddenly there are a lot more swords. Ryan casts Sword Burst.
So, that's a 10.
That fails!
Also, I feel like suddenly there's a lot more swords is an out-of-context quote.
7 force damage from Sword Burst.
It doesn't like that. It's also bloodied.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Okay. So, Gorga, Ryan, and Zuda have all gone. It is now the Void...
and Ryan gets 7 temporary hit points.
I am now above max.
So is Gorga. Despite
I have not
not liking life, Gorga hasn't taken any hits yet.
Yeah, same.
So, the main damage dealer right now is Morley. The Void Dragon is going to make a beeline for Morley at this point.
Of course.
Because, well, the person wiggling their fingers in the back and doing all the damage is a prime target when you have an intelligence bonus that is in the positives as opposed to the negatives.
The one in the dress! Hit the one in the dress!
Yep, that's about right.
Yes, but this thing is also on another plane of existence. Does it even really understand what fingers are?
It understands
Oh.
ow. It understands there is a
understands
chain
ow,
of
sure.
lightning going between Morley and it, and the lightning is bad.
Okay.
Now, this of course means that a certain Asimar is going to get to make an attack of opportunity.
I choose not to use my reaction to make an attack of opportunity.
What?
I know why. So noted.
Okay.
All right. It is flying right at... Oh, I should probably roll to see if it recharges his breath weapon. Oh, guess what? It doesn't fly right at Merle.
Oh.
Its breath weapon recharged.
Okay.
Yes. Now, it can't use gravitic breath again. Actually, let me look at it. Okay. And by the way, the gravitic breath effect is fading because the dragon's breath recharged. So no more rolling disadvantage until it uses that ability again. But it can't use that ability twice in a row.
Okay.
Instead, it is going to use a thing called stellar flare breath.
What does that do?
It exhales starfire in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that area must make a DC 17 dexterity saving throw or take a lot of damage.
What kind of damage?
Fire and radiant.
I'm resistant to radiant.
And Molly's resistant to fire. Nevertheless, everyone needs to make a dexterity saving throw and not at disadvantage because the gravitic breath effect is faded.
I got a 23.
So
I can't not roll high on these. I didn't roll a 19. I didn't roll a 19, but I did roll an 18.
Okay, so if you failed your save, which means you rolled under 17, I'm not... Okay, I see Jen's rolls over that, so we're good for that. Ryan has hit points of yes, so I'm not too worried about Ryan.
Not that this matters for Ryan, but don't forget that you all do get to roll a 1d4.
With
a 9 plus a 1d4 is still not going to pass it, but yes.
Yep.
Right, and add it to your saving throws.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I already passed, but thank you.
I've already,
So the damage is 28 radiant damage, or 14 if you're an Aasimar.
It's 28 for everybody?
Everyone...
It's 14 for you and me, Jen, because we both passed.
Yes.
Thank you. Can I, as an action, use my cloak and cast shield?
That's not going to help with saving throws.
Okay. So
if it was trying to claw you, the answer would be yes.
Okay, so 14 it is. No problem.
Okay. And
Well, that ate my temporary hit points, but I'm still mostly healthy.
And it's 28 fire damage, but if you made your save, it's 14. But if you made your save and you're a tiefling, it's 7.
So another 14 damage?
Yes.
So I'm adding 7 to the previous 14, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I am using my last spell slot to cast Absorb Element, and therefore will take a total of 28 damage because I'm resisting both.
You absorb the radiant damage and become even more of an Aasimar. No.
I am, however... Oh, I'm not quite bloodied. I am 1 hit point away from being bloodied.
I think
You've gone from having
bloodied.
hit points of yes to being hit points of yeah.
Maybe.
Points of maybe. I like that better.
I don't actually have hit points of yes.
I'm thinking of your monk.
Yeah, that was the one-shot monk that had hit points of
the
yes.
one-shot monk that had over 300 hit points.
Right. I mean, we were level 20, but still.
Yes, but still, 300 hit points. And you were a monk. You weren't a fighter. You weren't a barbarian. A barbarian, I would expect to have like 300 hit points, but no.
A dwarf monk that can take a bite from an ancient dragon and say, could be better.
But
I've had worse.
Zuda and Gorga both have a higher max HP than me.
Really? Gorga?
Yeah, you have 1 more hit point than I do.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, Gorga's like wafer thin.
Wafer.
She is not a frontline fighter.
Yeah.
You have a hit point Gorga has a hit point max of 45, Zuda has a hit point max of 50, Ryan has a hit point max of 44.
Bingo. Wait, never mind. So, Morley, it is your turn.
Okay, so I assume if I've been hit, I lost concentration?
You have to
You
make
have to make a roll
you have to roll.
Constitution save.
Oh, I have to make a Constitution save. Okay, Constitution save.
And you get plus 1d4 for that.
Okay, so I've rolled a 5 plus 2 for a 7. Now I add the 1d4. It's probably not going to help, but we'll see.
Yeah,
No.
even a 4
no.
is not going to
It's not.
save.
I got
Not
a
that
2,
much damage.
so I
No more
failed
lightning.
whatever that was for.
Yeah, you lost Witch Bolt.
Okay, so I've
Can I
lost
pass inspiration to Jen?
I mean, you may.
Okay, for which dice do I roll that on?
You just
Like
You reroll
roll
the
your
whole thing.
d20 again.
the whole thing. Okay, so it was Constitution save. I got the same number as before.
Okay. It was a valiant effort, but
The
now,
dice hate us today.
Yes.
but now you have tabula rasa.
Mm-hmm.
No spells that you're concentrating on.
Okay.
No disadvantage from being in the gravitic field.
Okay.
And there is a dragon made of nope in front of you. What would you like to do?
I don't know if this will work either. I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke in the hopes of sending it through hell.
You can't.
Can't?
Hellish Rebuke is a reaction,
It's a reaction.
if I remember correctly.
Is it?
It's
Let me read it.
If
I
it
didn't read
makes
it.
a strike at you, you do Hellish Rebuke and you hit it back with
But
fire.
It did hit me, though, right?
It
With something?
it didn't
Or
do
does
an
it have
attack
to be
roll.
the same turn?
It did a breath
It has to
weapon.
be a reaction.
Oh, it's a
to
breath
attack.
weapon. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I won't do that one then. Let's see. What else do I
Yeah,
got?
breath weapons are technically limited duration terrain features.
Okay, that's the part I didn't understand.
Yeah, they're really weird.
Yeah. A lot of what Morley has is really weird, so I can see where something else would be weird too.
I mean, we're playing a game with dragons, half demons,
Yeah.
half angels.
Okay, I don't know if this will work either, but I'm going to try. I'm going
and kobolds on the
to
moon.
I'm going to attempt to cast Hold Person on the dragon.
Huh.
It's not a person.
It's not a person.
Yeah, it's a
Dragons are
monster.
people too,
Wow.
but not mechanics wise.
Well,
Not mechanically. Okay. See, I'm reading it and it sounds like it would work, but no. Okay, let's try.
I actually.
Hmm?
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Hold person and hold monster are still technically different spells. Hold person specifies that it has to be a humanoid.
Okay. So I can't use that one. In this case. So I guess I'm gonna try Toll the Dead on it and hope it does some damage.
Okay, well, Toll the Dead means it has to make a save.
Okay.
Mhm.
So wisdom saving 14. It's probably smarter than
It does have a high wisdom bonus, but D&D Beyond has me rolling the way all of you are rolling in Discord.
But it has a
Oh, wow.
roll.
So, the total number was 12.
Okay, so it failed its wisdom saving throw.
And you're rolling d12s because it's already been damaged.
Okay. So I'm rolling d12s.
How many D8s does the spell say you would be rolling?
The spell says 2d8.
Okay, so
So
roll
you're rolling
12.
2d12.
2d12. Okay, let me go find those. Get to actually use a d12. I don't want to roll
Yeah.
2 of them, so I'll just roll 2 in order. Well, the first one was a 3, and d12. Second one is a 10.
So 13 points.
So that's 13 points of necrotic damage.
Yes.
It is immune
Not
to
bad.
tiefling.
It's immune to tiefling. And that's all I can do.
See, this is why I like this group of friends, because you laugh at my stupid jokes. All right, it doesn't like that, but it's not its turn.
It's not what?
But it's not its
Before we
turn,
move on,
Oh,
and it
what?
can't use a reaction because you had it make a save
I did.
as opposed to making an attack roll. So its reaction doesn't do anything.
Ha.
And before we move on,
Morley,
Mhm.
you get 11 temporary hit points.
Oh, thank you. That will help a lot.
okay, it's Vex's turn. Vex does a strategic retreat and flies over to hang on to Zuda's back.
I've scared the poor little thing.
Vex gets 6 temporary hit points.
Okay, let me put that in there. Tep hit points. Okay, that is added in. Gorga.
Am I within range to where I could reasonably stab this thing with my rapier instead of taking another shot with my short bow?
If you run up the catapult the way that Ryan did, the answer will be yes.
I am not running up a catapult, so I'm going to use my short bow.
To be fair, Ryan is not standing in the part that goes flying.
I don't care. I'm not running up a catapult.
Ryan is standing in the part where if you do launch the catapult, Ryan is going to get a catapult to the face.
And do I
That's
still get
fine.
bless, or has that worn off?
Oh, that's still there.
All right, so that's a 19 without the bless,
Roll for the bless.
and a dirty 20 with the bless.
Okay. So the thing I was describing before, this is what's happening. As you shoot your arrow into the air, it comes down, you think you know where, but instead, a small rift in space appears in front of the arrow and redirects it.
Uh-oh.
Stupid thing that's not exactly here. Can we kill it already?
I am
But
trying.
wait, it gets worse. It gets worse because, according to the text for this particular creature, if the attack misses because of this increase in AC, basically it increases its AC by an amount using this rift. The dragon can choose a creature within 30 feet to become the new target for that attack. Use the original attack roll to determine if the attack hits the new target. Morley, does a 20 hit you?
Yes, unless I cast shield.
Gorga can roll damage. Unless someone casts shield.
Do I have the ability to cast shield, or I don't?
Well,
right?
you were asking about
So
that cloak of yours.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Can this work now?
Well, let's see. Your AC is 14.
Yeah.
Where's your cloak? Arcane Cloak of Shielding.
It's under equipment, I think.
Unless it gives a
as a
plus
reaction-
6, that's not going to be enough.
As a reaction, you can cast shield.
Yes.
But
Shield
that's not
gives
gonna be
question
plus
is-
enough.
5.
Shield gives +5. That won't be
Yep.
enough because it's 20. So, Gorga, roll damage.
I got
Oh,
an
that
8.
reminds me, I should have made a concentration to keep up Shield of Faith.
Okay, Gorga just did 8 points of damage to Morley. Not intentionally.
Okay.
So you've eaten
Gorga
into
says
Morley's
something that
temporary
cannot
hit
be
points.
repeated on stream.
Okay, I am fine on Shield of Faith.
Vex feels justified for changing his location.
It's okay. I know you did not mean to do.
Also, you're all getting temporary hit points at the end of each of your turns, thanks to the cleric.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, how many do I get?
Speaking of which, that's 8 temporary hit points to Gorga.
Thank you.
you got as much as you gave.
Pretty much.
And I will be giving Ryan advantage with my bonus action, and that's my turn.
Okay, Ryan. The
Green
Nope Dragon
flame
is
blade.
still in front of you.
I am taking a swing with my flaming sword. But that is not +6, that is plus something else, that is +5. Because I do not have the same modifier for the weapon attack that is part of this. That's an 18. That's
You also
Plus
have
1d4.
bless.
I'm pretty sure an 18 is going to hit, but that is actually a
By
22.
22.
A 22 will hit, and it's already used its reaction.
Yep. And I absorbed the elements on that fire damage with my last 2nd level spell slot. So I'm adding 2d6 fire damage to this. So it's going to be,
On fire.
yes,
It's
but
going to be on a
1d
lot of fire.
1d8 plus 2 piercing, not piercing, slashing, plus,
Slash the non-existence.
please let me calculate.
Cut a hole in the hole of reality.
Please let me, sorry, I'm sorry. Please let
Sorry.
me calculate.
I was just memeing.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm,
It's math time.
yes. That is 4 slashing and 9 fire.
This thing does have damage immunities. None of you has bothered to attack with the things that it's immune to. It's very inconsiderate.
And I have a bonus action, and I'm going to use it to attack with my spiritual weapon. Actually, wait, no. I have a bonus action, and I am going to use Second Wind.
There is a strong breeze.
And I regain 6 hit points.
A strong, refreshing breeze.
How many temporary hit points do I get?
10.
Neat!
Here's the better part.
Uh-huh.
Zudis has a word of power.
Is it overwhelming?
Everybody gets 7 hit points back.
Ooh.
Very neat.
Vex has never felt more powerful. Vex has
But
taken
I,
no damage, so the
He's just
7
over.
hit points of healing doesn't do anything. But Vex has never felt more powerful.
Poor little guy.
Okay. Is that everyone's turn who's going on 14?
I think
Yes.
so.
Okay. Next
Did
up
we
is
just
the Void
lose
Dragon.
someone?
I mean, did we lose someone?
Craig.
Craig.
This is why I
Okay.
stopped using Craig, to be honest.
Yeah, Craig is kind of broken.
I rolled a 1 for recharging a breath weapon. So it is going to do the thing that it was going to do before. It is going to make a beeline for Morley.
Okay.
That is an attack of opportunity from Ryan, if Ryan so chooses. I'm assuming Ryan is not.
I am not.
Okay. So, Morley, first thing it attempts to do is go in for a bite. And that is a 24 to hit.
24
I would like
hit.
to take that instead.
Okay, suddenly you are standing on top of a catapult,
Oh, okay.
but also not getting bitten by a dragon made of nope. So
This is helpful. This is
you win
helpful,
some, you lose some, but reverse that order, because standing on top of the catapult is perhaps not what you were planning on doing today. Ryan, you are going to take 16 piercing damage
All right.
and 3 cold damage.
All right. Still not
Also-
flooded.
Now, it wasn't expecting you to be there, but your character decided to be in the dragon's mouth, which seems to be a theme.
Oh no!
Oh no!
So it might as well do something with this. That next roll is a 19.
Won't hit.
And its last claw attack is a 26.
That will hit.
Okay. You are going to take 12 points of slashing damage.
All right. Now I'm blown.
And so is it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Morley, you can see pretty far from this vantage point.
Okay. So
Over there is a worst hippo running off into the sunset.
Okay.
Over there is that strange dragonborn who's walking towards one of the makeshift temples that seems to be up here. And right there is a nope dragon attacking one of your friends.
Right, yes. Okay, so that's the problem. Too close for that. I'm gonna just cast Toll the Dead again. Seems
I mean,
to do
go with
stuff.
what works.
Yeah, it's a wisdom save of 14 as before.
That's a 17 on the die. It makes it this time.
Oh, okay.
And as
that
it's a
doesn't work.
cantrip, it fizzles.
It's a cantrip.
Okay.
I think that's my turn.
Yep.
Okay.
How many temporary hit points do you have?
10 temporary?
That's not a 6, so you keep the 10.
Oh.
Yeah, temporary hit points don't stack. So
Oh,
if,
okay.
if two things give you temporary hit points, you pick the higher number.
Oh, wait. I think I added before, so I should have had 7.
Oh, then you have 8.
Okay, so now I have 8. That's good. Okay.
Okay. Gorga, Rhine, and Zuda. Team 14.
I mean, Gorga's going to do the same thing she's done the last few turns. Take a shot with her short bow.
It's on the ground now, so if you wish to run forward and stab it a lot, you could.
And I'm still fine on concentration.
And it's currently engaged with an opponent, so you can get sneak attack damage if you hit.
All right, I got an 18 on my attack with my rapier.
Is that including the 1d4?
No, it's not.
Please add the 1d4.
So that's a dirty 20 with the 1d4 because I keep rolling a 2 on that thing.
Okay. So, fun fact, its reaction only works against against ranged attacks. It's specifically
Huzzah,
ranged
I'm
attack
not
here.
going to stab a friend by accident.
No. It can pretend it's a monk with portals if you're doing ranged attacks. Where
Now
if you
you're
catch,
thinking with portals?
yes, but when you're stabbing it a lot, it can't do the portal thing as well, apparently. This is another wonderful creation by Kobold Press. With that said,
Alright.
roll your damage.
All right, and since you said I do get sneak attack, that comes to a total of 18 damage. And then for my bonus action, I'm giving Ryan advantage again because Ryan seems to be the party's tank.
I mean, I
It is
did
my
give Ryan a
job.
shield. I did give Ryan a shield. That's basically like, no, you fight me. So yes. So Ryan and Zuda.
Gorga, how many temporary hit points do you have?
8.
Now you have 10.
Okay, thank you.
Come on, terrible thing. Let's do this.
Come on, Eileen.
And I am swinging with my flaming sword again. And I think I was just given advantage.
You were just given advantage.
That is a 17.
As 17
Oh wait, no, plus 4.
plus bless.
Plus 1d4. A d4. Plus 4.
That's all right. So that's a 21. Blackjack. Roll your damage.
No, I'm attacking with a longsword, not a blackjack.
Well, and the longsword is on fire.
And that is 5 slashing to fire.
Alrighty.
And spiritual weapon time. The spiritual weapon also takes a swing. It may or may not be on fire, but that does not change its damage type. And it would help if I rolled a 1d20 plus 6 instead of a 1d6. 18.
Plus 1d4.
Oh, 1.
So a 19. Roll your damage. Because even though the spiritual weapon is literally a flying weapon, it still doesn't count as a ranged attack.
4 force damage.
Game mechanics. Zuda, what would you like to do?
Oh, Ryan, that's 9 temporary hit points to you.
Appreciate it.
Ryan, how do you feel?
Like I'm covered in blood and a lot of it's mine.
I see. Oh,
On an arbitrary scale of 1 to 44, Ryan's feeling about a 15, right?
well. Oh, sorry. That's a 3 on the 1d4. So
I'm not the healer this time. It's someone else's responsibility to help Ryan.
with the 3 on the 1d4 and my plus 6, that's a 29 to hit.
That will hit.
Wait!
I will let anybody who's interested do the math.
That's a nat 20. You crit. I think.
Mm-hmm.
No. Really?
Yes.
3 on the 1d4 plus 6.
20 plus
29
6
to
plus
hit.
3.
Okay, so yeah, that's a nat 20. All the other modifiers don't matter.
Zuru walks
You cut out. You said Zuda walks.
Oh.
Ellie, you there?
up to the dragon and lays her hand on its head. Uh-oh.
Yes!
Can anybody else hear me?
Yes.
I can
Now
hear
we
you
Can
now.
now.
Cut out
You
for a while.
cut out for a while.
Oh, sorry. Zuru walks up to the dragon and lays her hand on its head and says, "The night would like its darkness back."
Are you rolling 6d10?
I'm rolling 8d10.
Oh, you were doing it with a 2nd level spell slot.
So help me if you roll all ones.
A spell slot, and that's 39 necrotic damage.
39 necrotic damage. How do you
Whoa.
want to do this?
I just told you how I want to do it.
Okay. So it is not traditional to seal a portal by hitting it a lot. One would argue many spellcasters who have a significant number of years in academia and research will tell you that hitting it a lot is probably one of the last things you should attempt, especially when there is a giant nope on the other side of said portal. But yet somehow this dragon made of nope that was formerly a portal just disintegrates. It turns into little flecks of sparkling light like fireflies that shoot off in all directions and quickly fade out completely.
As the darkness devours.
Okay, team, good fight. So, let's recap. This thing apparently worships the Kevins, which means to complete our goal, we should kill all Kevins.
Right. Still not taking suggestions from you.
Maybe if they ask, like the other three, those three had asked, maybe, but I don't think they're all going to ask.
We've been playing for over an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
Okay.
I think we should take
think
a
that's a
long
good idea.
rest.
No, I think you should not take any rests or breaks whatsoever. Just keep on going with the amount of hit points and spell slots you have now. I think that is for the best.
Oh.
But we'll be right back after these not messages. And we're back with that statement being made. Does anyone request
Now
Liam's tiny
recording.
hut?
Yes.
I mean, we might as well, I guess, but we also have to kind of decide our next course of action because
Oh, that's true.
that thing in the sky said it sent the Kraken, and we're supposed to make sure the Kraken stays dead. It also is apparently drawn to Kevins, so yeah, once again, I'm just going to say maybe we should just kill the Kevins and call it good.
Or if we bring a bunch of them with us, maybe.
No,
Ahem.
my name isn't Kevin, it's Kaveen.
was
It's Kaveen.
Oh, slightly different then, sorry.
It was kind of stated pretty clearly that it was using the dead Kevins, which we killed, and can't use any more Kevins.
I only have the one.
Is that what it said? I
Third
just
level
remember it
spell slot.
saying it was
That's
drawn
what
by
the
the Kevins.
Kevins said. That's what the Kevins said.
Are we taking a rest?
I mean, we could be having this conversation within the
Wow,
tiny hut. It doesn't
yeah.
really matter to
Yeah.
Gorga.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the glowy liquid should be inside the mace, so.
Usually, glowy liquid does not belong
Okay,
inside
I'm
a
casting-
person, but you're part angel.
I'm casting Liamon's tiny hut.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Do
we're
you
taking
allow the
8 hours.
Dragonborn in?
Yes.
Okay. So they do see the sphere appear, and they're like, oh, it doesn't matter, but perhaps they've decided to take a break. I can take a break. And they go over and wander in. You look
Hey, Prophet.
a little
Wait, do
beat
you
up.
know something about that thing in the sky that was speaking to us?
The what now?
I don't know what it was. It was speaking to us. It was in a hole in the sky.
You know, there are many people who have said that I don't have a very good grasp on reality.
I am soon to be one of those people.
My friends, the night requests my presence. And I go to sleep.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, you've had 2 combat sessions, which take a while, but in-game time aren't very long. It's really just after dawn.
Yeah, I know, but I'm exhausted.
Fair.
Okay, so
You have used 2 combat rounds of spell slots.
Exactly.
Okay.
We fought the thing that was making the worst hippos and worst flowers.
Ah.
Well, we didn't fight that thing. We fought a
We fought the thing that was
skyhole
summoning
dragon
them.
thing it made.
We fought the thing that was summoning them. Better.
So it went with a theme, then.
What now? How?
Apparently,
temple's
its
here.
previous theme was summon krakens.
Oh,
Ooh.
right.
There's not much water around here.
No, but we'd still like to put a stop to that summon kraken thing.
I mean, the Eater of Worlds will eat them too. It doesn't matter.
The Eater of Worlds. You
Tarrasque.
sure that's the Tarrasque?
It ate a god. Why not?
Yeah, that's what the thingy on the other side of the portal was trying to do.
It's very strange.
It sounds like your object of worship might have some competition.
Well, either way, we're doomed. So it doesn't matter.
Man, I thought I was defeatist.
Find something you're good at, my mother always said.
Interesting.
Anyway, it picking a dragon shape makes sense, sort of. All the temples up here seem to have dragon themes.
Oh.
There are temples up here?
Mm-hmm. 5 of them.
Yeah.
5.
Okay, that's gonna be worth investigating, I think.
Oh, stars.
They have not fared very well against time or the Eater of Worlds, but there are still some things in them.
Well, that thing in the sky hole was here for a reason, and if there were multiple temples on top of this mountain, then yeah, I think the temples are likely worth investigating.
That or the workshop. There's a workshop up here too.
We'll add that to the list.
What did the workshop make? Do you know?
Oh, all kinds of things. I think it was used to help summon a god. Maybe 2. I'm not an artificer. Hard to tell. I think they also use it to make a giant mechanical 3-headed dragon.
Oh, we saw that.
Oh, how'd it work?
I don't think it
Not
was
very
working.
well anymore.
It was already broken when we found it.
Yeah.
That's what they always say. They're usually right. Okay, so go ahead and press that magical long rest button. And
Oh, good.
Jen, when you press it, there should be a little checkbox that says reset hit points. Make sure that's unchecked.
Oh, unchecked. Okay. I'm unchecking that, and I'm hitting take long rest. I think so.
Yay, solutions. Solutions that
thought
don't
it had
involve
to-
math.
I thought it had to be checked, so I left it that way.
Yeah, it's good for if you had to modify your hit points, and most times that happens, it's something that gets reset after a short or long rest, so it goes with that by default. But
Okay.
my house rule is not something that should be reset.
Okay.
So there's that.
That's all
Okay.
good.
So I believe at the end of our last session, the comment was made for staying in a tiny hut for 24 hours, so it'll be dawn again.
Okay.
But you have things that you can explore. So if you would rather spend 8 hours and then have an afternoon stroll, you can do that as well. It's up to you.
Gorga's vote's gonna be for take the long rest and then start exploring the 5 temples and workshop as soon as possible, but she's also squishy, so she's not gonna push too hard if the others just want to hang out in the hut.
Prophet is willing to go with you.
Gorga's going to ignore that fact and wait for the rest of the party to weigh in.
I'm pretty sure I have dark vision, so I'm ready to go whenever.
I've got dark vision.
In fact, I think you're the one who doesn't have dark vision.
By the
I
way-
do
I
not.
mean,
Right. I have it.
By the way, thanks to that laugh, Gorga has her inspiration back. Okay, so 8 hours later, the bubble pops, because that's how long it lasts unless it's recast. And you have 5 temples to explore. Prophet has informed you that the temples each have a thematic color scheme. There's a red one, there's a blue one, there's a green one, there's a black one, and there's a white one. And there's also the workshop, which doesn't seem to have a color scheme other than rusty metal. So, red.
Okay.
I mean, Gorga's preference is going to be like, we're probably going to check out all of these anyway, so whichever one's closest.
Well, you're right in the middle. So, they're equidistantly spread around the top.
Okay, then, does the rest of the party have a preference? Because as long as we're checking them out, I do not.
And I'm assuming at this point, every
red first.
container that Zenosha has available, including multiple pockets, is filled with the diamonds that are filling the pit in the middle of
Right.
the top of the
It's
spire.
Gorga, but yes. Zenosha's the druid kobold from the Monday game.
Oh, is that what
I
you
mean,
said?
Zenosha might want to do that also, but Zenosha does not currently have that opportunity.
I have
Fair.
a preference for black first, but
I want to suggest red first. We found some red dragons, and they breathe fire, and Morley's good with fire, so...
Yes, I am getting very good at that. And lightning and other
that
things.
is true. Gorga and I are very good with acid.
Oh, didn't know that.
We
Oh,
are?
yeah. Oh, yes. I apologize for not communicating that to you earlier.
You see, Gorga, when you're brought back as a water genasi, your body goes through a bunch of changes.
For one thing, it's a different body.
For one thing, it is a different body. You may find that on occasion, you can cast certain cantrips.
Yes, Gorga already discovered she can cast shape water to make ice boats. She is still not happy about this fact, but she is aware of it.
Yeah, all other uses for shape water are being ignored, but you can make ice boats whenever you want.
Well, I'm pretty sure I can be all right with acid too, so if we want to do that, that's probably...
Prophet's already walking off.
Oh, where's
Where's
he
he
going?
going?
Any direction is fine with me.
Probably the red one. I'll roll. Let's find out.
Should we just push him off the cliff?
No, no.
No.
You would have to do a lot of pushing because you're not near a cliff right now.
Oh.
Okay, Prophet started walking as soon as you started talking, so Prophet's walking towards the red one.
I guess maybe we should follow him.
Are you sure? I mean,
He hasn't caused us any harm yet.
yes,
And
but
if he does get into trouble, bad
He's
things
gonna-
might start happening and we might need to be there. Not necessarily just bad things happening to him.
And if he causes trouble, then of course you can kill him.
I'll hold you to that.
I
Only
promise
if
I will
it's
not
on
object.
purpose.
That was not part of the deal.
I don't
If he
care.
If he causes trouble,
If he causes trouble on purpose. I am not letting anyone kill people for causing trouble on accident.
I mean, half the party would be dead by now.
Exactly.
Again,
Well, I don't
Actually,
care
no,
about
wait,
trouble in
wait.
general, just trouble for us.
all of the party would be dead again.
anyway.
Anyway,
Shall we move on?
Yes, let's go find where Prophet is going. He must have a reason.
okay. You're not
Okay,
walking
fine.
over-
We'll use him as the canary in the coal mine.
Remember, there are diamonds up here somewhere, and we are spelling his name Profit.
I am already carrying as many diamonds as I can. So,
Gorga is under the effect of the gravitic field, just because Gorga is carrying her weight in diamonds.
Look at that.
but yes, let's follow Prophet. Let's stay about 20 to 30 feet behind him so that when he triggers a trap, we'll probably be outside of the range of effect.
I am ignoring this and following fairly closely.
Okay, well, there are multiple structures up here. Many of them look like they were temporary in nature when they were originally set up, and it's been 5 years and a Tarrasque since then. So it's like, well, over here it looks like that's a tent pole. Okay, well, it's half of a tent pole.
Sorry.
It's a tent pole shape. And over here is some loose fabric. Okay, that's a thing. I found 100% intact window.
One window.
Everything it was attached to is opposite of that, but the window is intact.
I got it into my head that, they were red, white, blue, black, and green, but they were tent poles, not temples.
Valid.
So
Except
we are
not
in a
correct, but
battleground
valid.
of some kind then, instead of a temple area.
The temples are slightly more intact. They might have been assembled a bit better than everything else, but they still look to be, and this is not something the characters would understand, but the players might understand that they resemble if a temple was built using a double-wide trailer.
Huh.
To the point where, well, there's parts where the outer wall has been broken away to a point where you see that it is in fact on wheels, and over there is a trailer hitch.
So it's a temple park.
Is it a
something like
mobile
that.
home temple park?
Possibly.
How do you say? I think it is that.
I mean, you don't know what you'd hitch it up to, or how it got here, but there it
Prayers
is.
on wheels.
Oh, maybe this is what the workshop was making. people's homes or something.
Maybe. We still got like 5 temples and a workshop to check out, so...
The door doesn't close all the way, but it still moves on its hinges, and Prophet opens the door and walks through.
I will follow 30 feet behind because I was being absolutely serious when I said I am going to use Prophet as the canary in the coal mine.
So the temple is not exactly 30 feet long.
Oh.
It's 29.5 feet long.
Gorga is blocking the doorway for everyone else. Actually, no, Gorga wouldn't get to the doorway because Prophet isn't going all the way to the far wall.
I mean, if other people want to walk in and test for pressure sensor tiles, then I'm not going to stop
The rogue
them.
would like everyone else to check for traps, please.
Yes.
So we are expecting what? Fire traps? Is this one the red one he was going to?
Yep.
Okay, well, I have some resistance. I'll be okay. But I
Okay.
think he's about to set them off first because he is ahead of...
Okay. So you
I
head
mean,
in.
if the trap trigger's in the floor, then it could just be a matter of hitting the right tile.
Okay, as you head in, there is a small narthex area that is mostly cleared of stuff, but there is an open set of double doors that go into a central area that appears to be set up for worship. The benches that are in here are, for the most part, smashed. There is an altar on the far side. There is a door on the far side as well. There is a giant hole in the middle.
It looks like someone has already set the trap. There is a crater here.
The hole
Yes,
goes
wow.
into the empty space underneath the temple because, again, the temple is up on wheels.
How is this lit?
There are windows.
So the empty space
Moonlight.
underneath is dark.
Yes. Well, there's some light because parts of the walls on the outside are broken away.
If it's dark enough, I have a torch I'll light.
Oh, don't worry about that. I use Eyes of Night on Gorga, Rhine, and Morley.
I might have that.
Oh, no, you don't.
I don't. I have
But
something.
he may have Devil's Sight.
Devil's Sight. Yeah, I have that.
Okay. Well, then I use it on Gorga, Rhine, and Prophet. And that's 300-foot dark vision for an hour.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, I can see the large room with a pit in the middle. Hey, Prophet, why don't you check what's in that pit?
I already did. There's nothing there. Not that it matters.
How did you already check?
This is not my first time up here.
That is what I thought. He knows where he's going because he's been before.
There's a couple
Then-
footprints in there, that's it.
There's what in there?
Couple footprints. Like someone who was standing here got hit very hard on the head and went through the floor and into the ground.
Was that person you?
I hope not. I don't think it was. I don't remember everything.
The crater looks a bit larger than you, though. Maybe it was not you.
Could have been.
Well, we've already found several pits full of diamonds, so if this pit wasn't a pit trap, then I'm just going to assume it was another case of trying to create a pit of diamonds to summon whatever they were trying to summon.
It's a bit small for that. They would have put all the diamonds in one spot. At least, that's what makes sense to me. Anyway, if you wanted to see the sights, here are the sights. There's the altar here, where they prayed to a god that likely doesn't exist anymore because it's been eaten. And over here, we have the narthex, which you've already seen. It's not that important. Over here, we have a doorway to apparently living quarters that have not been used in some time, with a small collection of books.
Well, the small
Actually-
collection of books sounds like it might be worth looking into, so we can try to figure out what was going on here.
I think we got told what was going on here.
But if they are journals, I mean, maybe the people who are doing the something wrote more than we have to blame.
Might be useful.
I mean, I'm not sure he's capable of taking offense, but Prophet here doesn't sound like the most reliable narrator, so yeah.
I was talking about our initial briefing, you know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Not that you ever pay attention.
Calm.
I am always paying attention.
Then act like it.
Calm.
Gorga is basically staring daggers into Ryan right now after that comment.
I have missed
Ryan
the
smiles.
interactions of other humanoids.
Wait, what? Say it again? I didn't
The
hear
interactions
that.
of other humanoids. The talking, the words. It got a little monotonous over time.
Prophet.
This is nice.
Okay.
Prophet.
Yes.
Assume that we are not interested in this temple. Are any of the temples more interesting than...
Well, I have not read the books, to be honest. Or maybe I did. I don't really remember much about life before the forgetting.
Fair enough.
So, I'm not sure. I spent a bit more time in the workshop. Many shiny things in there.
Could be interesting.
Let's go there then.
I want to pick up one of the books before we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like to check the books to see if there's any journals, because those may have more information. But after that, let's go ahead and check out the workshop.
I will ask both of you to make investigation checks.
Okay.
Investigation, not perception.
In this case, investigation, because you're looking for a journal, as opposed to
I
just...
rolled a 1.
Oh,
I got a 23.
Okay, so you both pick up books.
Uh-huh.
Now, because I know what the contents are of this particular bookshelf,
I found a journal. It says blank page, blank page, blank page, blank page, blank page.
well, Morley, you find a hymnal.
Oh,
Yes,
interesting.
it's written in Draconic.
Okay. I think I can read that now.
And that's definitely a journal. I mean,
Oh, yes, I can.
that's hymnal is what you call that kind of journal. If it had been written by a woman, it would be a hernal.
Okay, good to know. I did not know books had genders, but okay.
I am now worrying about hernia operations.
do not eat the book.
Well, it's a journal if the person who was writing it was trapped in a musical, and the musical was all about praising and worshiping Tiamat.
Okay. Can I have a Eldritch Invocation that lets me read all writing.
That's why I
Can I
told you
skip
that
it and
information,
get an idea?
because that is what the hymnal
Oh,
is.
that's why. Okay. I was wondering if there was more to it than that, but that's cool.
Okay.
I got the hymns in that. Their name is Tiamat.
Oh no, not again.
Gorga, on
And
the
the
other
paper
hand,
say, if the plane is flat, can do. Can't, sorry.
dragons and dolls. All right. With that said, now I'm thinking about that musical and how to interpret more of it into Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh no.
This
We
is
are going
all
to end up
Ellie's
with a
fault.
singing episode, aren't we?
This is all Ellie's fault, and I thank her for it. To be honest, this is
Matt
my
be
kind.
a lady tonight.
I rolled a 1. Rolls ones. Rolls
What?
ones.
What's
My guy says the
beeping?
horse rolls ones.
What's beeping?
I don't hear anything
beeping.
beeping.
It's out in the hallway. It's definitely out in the hallway.
Okay. Now, for Gorga, with your roll of a 23, you find something much more interesting than an instruction guide for how to worship the god of all evil dragons. You do, in fact, find a journal. Now, the journal does not have a name attached to it, so this unnamed person apparently started keeping the journal on the day that they were selected to become one of an organization called the 20. And browsing through it, you see several mentions of a very powerful ancient dragon that's referred to as the Mountain Core. You see multiple mentions that the person who is writing this journal seems to have been considered the bottom rung of the ladder by the other
Dad
members
was
of the
playing
20.
with fire alarms.
Oh.
I'm very
Oh,
glad
really?
for the last word in that sentence. Only because you were referring to it happening in the hallway.
Right.
If Walter is playing with fire, I trust that it is the safest possible fire.
Oh, I don't mean to shed a light of doubt on anyone's
No,
competency,
absolutely.
but just the location where one would play with fire tends to not be hallway.
Right, but
So I'm very glad for that last word in the sentence that Eo uttered.
Yes.
But with that said,
But I'm just saying my knowledge of Walter is that if Walter is playing with fire in the hallway, A, there's a reason for Walter playing with fire in the hallway, and B, it is in the safest possible circumstances.
with that said,
There is literally no one on the planet I would trust more to play with fire in a hallway than Walter.
that is
The
fair
hallway
and
has
valid.
carpet.
Fair and valid.
That's fair.
So to Dungeons and Dragons, the person who is writing this journal very clearly felt like their promotion put them in a worse position because now they had the full attention of the other 19 members of the 20, and they really got made fun of a lot and put down a lot and were given like the worst tasks. But here they were, one of the 20, which was one of the highest ranking positions a non-dragon can have in the Cult of the Dragon. Oh, yeah, apparently their whole organization was called the Cult of the Dragon. There was that.
Okay, everyone, so apparently we're looking after a dragon worshiper cult. They're led by a group of people who call themselves the 20, and I have the journal of the loser of the group because apparently even once you make it to the 20, there's still a hierarchy.
I'm one of the 20, so one of the 20. I feel pretty and witty and bright, and I'm certain that we're summoning a dragon god tonight.
Turns out you summoned two. Whoops. No, Daldane was already here.
Right.
We couldn't see her because she was being quiet.
That caused the problem. Daldane caused the problem that we're facing right now.
Daldane solved a problem, and anytime one door closes, oftentimes a window and the wall to which it's attached is blown out.
I was going to say, anytime a door closes, Daldane kicks the next one open.
No. Fahim kicks it or punches it.
Fahim punches the next one open.
Yes. But like I said, the journal also mentions a very powerful ancient dragon, which the 20s seemed to be wary of, that had endorsed the journal writer for their position. So they had one dragon in their court.
And apparently this dragon worshipping cult had an actual dragon in their midst, but
multiple.
That still wasn't worthy of being worshipped. I don't know. I guess they worshipped a really powerful dragon.
Well, they had means of controlling the dragons. They were dragon orbs. One of them was kept in this very temple.
I'm pretty sure it was covered in our briefing who they worship.
But if they had means of controlling dragon, don't you think we ought to investigate that? Because we did just fight a dragon.
The DM is remembering where these dragon orbs are.
Was that a dragon, or was it just dragon shape?
It was kind of a hole in reality. I don't think it counts as a dragon, but by the same token, I'm not exactly going to turn around a chance to try to control something like that.
Yeah, if we have the opportunity to control dragons, shouldn't we look into it?
I mean,
I
I'm
guess
game.
If we run across anything.
But what if we don't know how these things work?
Or what they are, or where they are.
Or what they do to the person trying to...
Prophet, are you certain that there's nothing down there except some footprints?
Prophet crawls into the hole.
Prophet does what?
He crawls into the hole.
He crawls into the hole.
Yes.
The crater
well,
in the floor.
the temple is off the ground so that there can be wheels underneath of it. But the wheels aren't like person size. So if you want to go into the hole to be underneath the temple, you do have to do some crawling. You can't just like step down. If you step down, most of you will still be sticking out of the hole.
Oh, I thought it was a substantially deeper hole than that.
Well, it's substantially deep if you consider that the person who created the hole was used as the nail going into the hole. And a particular kobold, if I remember correctly, was wielding the hammer.
I thought it was multiple tens of feet deep.
No, not that deep. Tens of inches.
Okay. That is. I would not have asked the question.
This is where the fellow who most of what I remember is that Zeely offered to turn him to stone and put him in a bag of holding to smuggle him somewhere, and I forget why.
I don't remember.
Got hammered into the ground.
A different path was taken. He was dropped off in Faerun.
Yes, with
Vex's
kobolds.
sister.
Right,
and she was just like, "Wait, Vex, that's not a kobold." Bink, he's gone.
Okay.
Technically, he was a Goliath.
Yes, this is where Goliath was hammered into the ground.
Right.
By a kobold.
Okay, so yeah, now I got the mental image. I was previously with Ellie and assuming it was a giant pit we could crawl into or something.
Well, yeah, I deeply
Goliaths
misunderstood.
are kind of giant kin.
Yeah.
It's Goliath size.
I deeply misunderstood what was going on here.
Well, theater of the mind, sometimes we're not always on the same stage.
Right.
I just thought of that, and I need to use that pun again. I need to use that pun again.
Apparently, I have just fallen into the sunken orchestra.
We see Ellie's feet sticking out.
I'm apparently right there with you, but
I am probably the only one of us familiar with mobile homes and how they work. So,
oh no! I am entirely familiar with mobile homes and how they work. I thought
you just
that it was
assumed the hole was
hole.
deeper than it is.
okay.
All right. So, because you would not have said that if you had not realized how this is working, then Prophet does not climb into the hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. So should we check out the workshop or hit up the other temples
I
first?
think we should check out the workshop.
Okay.
It might be
It's this way. What's left of it, anyway. I think the Eater of Worlds took a detour through it at some point.
I mean, I probably would.
Prophet just looks at you and then turns and walks away.
Okay, we follow him again.
All right. So it becomes very obvious as you're approaching the workshop that it does look like a Tarask has possibly walked through it at some point. It is not all in one piece. It is not all in two pieces. However, there are parts of it that are still somewhat intact to the point where you can go inside what's now like two lean-tos, kind of, sort of. You could also examine the parts that are trampled in the middle, but those will probably yield less information. And Prophet goes up to one of them. It conveniently does not have an attached door and just walks right in.
All right. I'll follow.
By the
I'll
way,
follow too.
this building is significantly large enough that if Gorga is continuing to remain 30 feet away, Gorga can still walk into the building.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna keep a healthy 20 to 30 feet. So
Gorga's there with a 30-foot pole, just constantly poking Prophet.
Oh no.
This is not canon. There are no
Right.
poles that are 30 feet long that are intact anywhere on top of the spire.
It's white and it's got a red tip.
No.
You never let me have any fun.
I let you have fun all the time.
Fine.
Okay, so when you walk in the building, you see machinery and tools scattered everywhere. Most of it looks very much unintact. There's some bits and bobs that look like they're half-assembled pieces. Some look like they were fully assembled at one point and have now been less assembled than before. There's various papers and blueprints scattered about. Some of them are neatly on shelves. Some of them are not. Some of the shelves are not neat because they themselves have been scattered as well. It's almost as if a Tarask went through this place.
Well, he did say that Tarask went. So what do we have here?
By the way, a significant amount of the stuff looks to be scaled for smaller beings, like halfling or gnome-sized.
well, figures we'd find a gnome workshop among a group of dragon worshippers. I mean,
Ogmanites, to be honest.
There
And the
was-
prophet points at a plaque that is still hanging on a wall, probably because it was welded there, that appears to have the image of a blank scroll. Agba has not
Ogmanites.
been eaten. I recognize the symbol. Followers of Agna, god of knowledge and learning.
fascinating. Why were Ogmanites working with dragon worshippers?
Probably because they had quite a bit of information that the Ogmanites wanted.
I mean, there's this, and apparently this is an area that Prophet has gone through before. They go over to one of the intact shells and pull out a rolled-up blueprint and hand it to Gorga. Or attempt to. It depends on if Gorga is still remaining 30 feet away. Otherwise, we just watch this wonderful dance of Prophet walking towards Gorga and Gorga backstepping.
If enough people have already walked around the rest of the floor, then I'm going to assume that any traps would have been triggered already. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take the blueprints and do my best to decipher them, but I'm not a builder,
Investigation
so it's
check.
not my specialties. I got a 17 on my investigation.
Okay, so with a very low roll, if you had gotten a 5, you would have opened it up and said, these are blueprints for a 3-headed mechanical dragon. With a 10, you would have said, this is blueprints for a 3-headed mechanical dragon that has a passenger seat, or a driver's seat, possibly a driver's seat. With a 15, it looks like the seat is the controls. The plans were changed. There was an edit to it. There were going to be controls put in there, but at the last minute, they changed the design so that sitting in the seat lets you control it.
Well, I found the blueprints for the 3-headed dragon thing. Looks like it was controlled by magic.
Interesting, I guess.
That's Ogmanites for you. Officially advanced magic is indistinguishable from technology.
I mean, I could be reading this thing wrong. It looks like the original intention wasn't for it to be magic controlled, but at some point they removed the controls and just added a chair that lets you control it, so I'm assuming that means magic.
You hear
I
a
guess
sound.
it depends if they knew.
And yes, that was my idea too, but Gorga has absolutely no reason to come to that
Oh
conclusion.
yeah, no one in the party would know that,
No,
but
no,
many
yeah.
of the players are already aware.
Mhm.
You hear a sound.
What kind of sound?
At first, you think it sounds like a waterfall, but
That's
not really.
weird.
It's coming from that box over there.
I stand 30 feet away from the box.
I
I think they broke the plumbing in here, and it's
I open the box.
The box does not have a door. The box is just a box. It's mostly made of metal, but there is one side that's made of glass.
I draw my sword.
It is still making a sound. I'm only doing it a little bit because that would get very annoying if I did it for a long period of time, but just imagine that going constantly.
And I am going to go peer at the glass.
Yeah, I'm looking at the glass.
Okay. The glass is glowing. It's very faint. There's apparently a layer of dust, grime, soot, possibly all of those. Maybe a thin layer of oil. Okay, no, not a thin layer of oil. That is a very thick layer of oil. But there is a glow coming from the glass underneath all of that.
Weird.
It's trapped.
What is it?
I suspect it's a friend.
By the way, this box it's not a very deep box, but it's about a foot by a foot by like 3 inches.
Help me find something to break this.
That sounds like a bad idea, so I'm going to stand 40 feet away, even if that means I have left the building.
yeah, let's look for something that can break this.
Hold on. Do you want us to break this? Sound nervous if you don't.
Who are you asking?
The box.
I don't really know how to sound nervous or not nervous. I just sound like me. But I have not heard that make that sound before. It's just been sitting there gathering dust and whatever else is on it. It didn't look
Right.
interesting at the time.
Sorry, I was asking it to sound nervous. It sounds like someone's talking in there.
It does
How
sound
big is
like
the
something.
glass?
Yeah, it's a box that is 1 foot by 1 foot by 3 inches, and
How big?
one of
how
the
big
two
is the
sides.
glass?
The glass on one side is 1 foot by 1 foot square. The back side is made of metal. All the shorter sides are made of metal.
Okay. I put my hand on the glass.
It feels like you just put your hand in an oil slick, but there's definitely glass underneath the oil slick.
All right, I can deal with that.
Do you pull your hand away?
I want to see what it does.
Okay, well, it feels a bit warm to the touch, but otherwise just putting your hand on the glass doesn't really change anything.
The thing inside?
It's still making noises, mostly the waterfall sound.
Should we throw it off the cliff?
No,
Does it need the
I want-
water around it to survive?
I think it is the water.
It is the water. Okay, I leave this to you.
I take out my mace and I try to smash the glass.
Give me an attack roll.
Oh, wait, I actually used that this. That's an 18.
Okay, you successfully smash the glass. The waterfall sound stops.
Okay.
Did
Whatever
you...
was inside has also stopped. A
Did
thin
you kill
wisp of
it?
smoke comes out.
I think you killed it.
Color is this.
Is it blue?
It might be slightly blue, but let's face it, anytime you smash electronics and release a smoke, it's usually going to be a mysterious blue smoke.
Right, that's true.
Mhm. Okay, so
Is
was not
the
a creature?
smoke doing anything?
Slowly dissipating. There's not much of a breeze in here.
That did not go as I expected.
Did you
Oh.
die?
No, we are fine. You can come in. You probably won't, but you can.
Yes, but I got better.
I mean, canonically, you are exactly correct.
I didn't mean that death.
Then no. As far as I know, I didn't die.
You
If
are,
I
Looks
did,
alive
this is
to
a
me.
very strange afterlife.
you are all very strange people. Has
Yes.
anyone ever told you that?
Yes.
They are all very reckless and way too trusting.
Keep in mind who is telling you that you are all very strange people.
I look in the box.
How wide is this mountaintop?
Miles.
Okay, Prophet,
There
how about you
anything
walk
still in
10
the
miles
box?
in that direction?
I came all this way. I will finish my job first. And Prophet walks out.
Is there anything still in the box?
Various machinery parts, little bits of metal and ceramic, and you have no idea what any of them do.
Okay, Gorga just clued into the fact that Prophet said he was doing a job, and she's
I'm
going to
following.
pursue that fact.
I'm following
Like, job?
Prophet.
What job? Can you speak more of your job?
As the angel has
I'll go
stated,
behind.
Following as well.
I am on a pilgrimage. I have told you this before. I do this usually once a year. I visit all the shrines. I meditate on the impermanence of all that is, including gods, and then I go back down. I have visited one of the temples. I will visit the other 4, and then I will go back down to the resting place of the World Eater. There's more food down there. And Prophet walks away.
I follow.
Same.
And that's where we're going to end it. So, thank you everyone for playing. Thank you everyone for listening. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Ellie, Eo, Jen, and Cindy. Archbeth is hanging out in chat. LFA was hanging out in another chat. Is there anything that anyone would like to plug?
My mom writes books. You can find them at elizabeth-mccoy.com.
My website is Book of Jen at bookofjen.net. It's got podcasts and gaming stuff and other stuff, and content is added when I can, and that's bookofjen.net.
I run a social media website at elekk.xyz, and I have a website personally at noelle.codes, NOELLE.codes.
And Cindy is awesome.
And Cindy is awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, and we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/cogwheelgaming.
Yes, you can help us keep the lights on along with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Janadalak, Mickey, Shanshan, and Walter. And until next time...
Subscribe to the Patreon. You'll get the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Disclaimer, you will not actually get a seat. All right, and so until next time, this is Crash saying, yes, that was very odd. I've never seen a portal do that, have you? Oh, you have?
You'll only need the edge.
Twice, in fact.
GLaDOS has many new experiments to run.
Fascinating.
Look at me still talking when there's science to do.
Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm calling this a great success. Good night, everybody.
Good night.